this is unique to the country. There's nobody else that does this. And what's interesting is we work for Village of Bannockburn too. Over there, they don't want you to come down to Buckthorn. So they want to keep us. Everybody has their own thing, you know. And really, the program, the places that we've done, you know, the Buckthorn Eagles, they've been relatively successful. The only one that wasn't was the fire station site because stumps, it turns out, were properly treated. Because everything you went through, there was suckers from old stumps, and that was sort of an anomaly. And I think it's the things that Cheryl and I have talked about too. You know, there's a whole realm of integrated programs there in terms of the Gypsy Moth and all these other kind of things. So I think that's my suggestion as to where I think would be a good way to move forward. I agree with Rich. I think the key element here is education of the residents, and I think that's to my mind, I think what we need to do is put together a program that's really clear to the board and everybody's, you know, and totally outline all those issues and stuff.
Cheryl, I think you were given a homework assignment, and I was too. Do you accept that? Do you accept the homework assignment?
Well, I was rather assuming that Rich and I would talk, and we would talk with the RPC to figure out some specific plan or goals and see what's feasible.
Jim was right there.
Thank you. Steve Kristen, 775 Thorn Meadow. We've been weeding our garlic mustard for, I can't even remember how many years. I mean, it's been like 6, 8 years or whatever. And we were told that the only assistance we could get out of that $250,000 that's sitting there for you know, taking care of our woodland was the first year or two. We haven't gotten any assistance we've been denied for like years on any help on weeding our garlic mustard, and we do it every year. I mean, just because we believe that's what, you know, we should do. So what's that all about?
Apply again, we'll make sure you get your money.
Okay.
I guess there's a requirement that you could only do it so many years, right?
That's right.
Stop.
Right,
But
right.
We'll try and change that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because it's not,
Same thing happens
garlic
to me.
mustard is not it's not a 2-year program. It's a tenacious
We have to expand the program.
weed.
It's a
Should I make a
Mary
comment?
Ford.
Yeah, I think it's important to understand a couple of things. There's a lot of ways to deal with garlic mustard, and when the program was put together with the village sponsorship, it was determined that the removal of the garlic mustard would have to be mechanical in nature. It doesn't have to be mechanical in nature, you know, but the concept was because of the concerns of, you know, pesticides and all that sort of thing, we would promote that. There's nothing that prevents, you know, the residents from doing it a different way. Okay, and the idea is,
Which way is that?
huh?
Which other way is that?
Herbicides. Okay, and here's the issue. If you want to get into providing the money to everybody every year, that's fine. Okay, but the whole purpose here is to have the stewardship responsibility of the property owner, you know, take that over. Because the whole concept was, when we started talking about it, people had, and buckthorn was the first item, huge and dense amounts of buckthorn. Well, we'll help you get rid of that. It's your responsibility to take care of it on an annual basis. Okay, now when it comes to using private contractors and that sort of thing, there's always opportunities for neighborhoods to go together, a little bit better price, all these other kinds of things. But that was the intent of it, and I think it's important to understand that. If you want to change that, that's fine. But those are
Maybe you need to change the amount so you can do it all at one time, so that you're not a caretaker and doing it every year. But I think addressing what he's saying, you know, something to look into.
Yeah, no question about it. But I think it's never going to go away. In other words, you're always going to have to deal with these issues. The question is to manage it to a level where it's not an impediment to the rest of the plant. It's not you're going to get rid of every buckthorn plant. You're not going to get rid of the garlic mustard plant. But it's not detrimental to the rest of the plant you're trying to promote. And to make the annual maintenance of it a more reasonable thing. And really, you know, quite frankly, my biggest concern about this whole process is every proposal we get, I I should say, 9 out of 10 proposals we get are $1,000 more than the price should be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're trying to get back their
Exactly,
assessment too.
exactly. Well, it's not the resident, I'm saying, it's what happens a lot is somebody will call and say, geez, I'd like you to come out and give me a proposal for trimming my trees. And one of these industrious contractors, so you know, if you have to stake out your truck, I'm gonna get you $1,000 from the village. And I think that's part of the
I
issue.
see.
So that's why, and I look at it, the pickle boat, I fell off that a long time ago. And it's really clear to me when you get a lot of proposals that are exactly $2,000. It's not $1,982.50. It's not $2,422. It's $2,000. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So and when we originally put that package together, we bid out the removal on the village properties. And we created granted it was in $1994, whatever it was. We looked at the sites and we classified them as dense, medium, or light. Now, in Cheryl's case, when we were at her house, I looked at that as like sort of a medium sort of density thing. So we had a yardstick, what the contractors actually cost to do that. And that was our guideline. So when we got a proposal that where you had 300 square feet of buckthorn to take out, and it was $3,600, time out. So it's that kind of administrative thing. So I think, making it, my preference is to have all the buckthorn removed on a piece of property at one time. If that means up in the ante to some percentage, I think that's fine. But I was trying to keep away from let's do this every year at the same place. Yes, sir.
There's a bit of a logic, I'm Mike Clayton, 3030 Langdorf. There's a bit of a logical disconnect for me in the focus on buckthorn, $250,000, and garlic mustard, and a comprehensive woodland health plan. Garlic mustard and buckthorn are only one small element of a comprehensive woodland health plan. And the fact that there's $250,000 sitting there that someone hasn't used to remove buckthorn, in my mind, has little to do with the leadership that the trustees need to show with regard to the stewardship of the land within the village and what we need to do across the village to maintain a healthy woodland. We can cite anecdotal evidence of a lot here and a lot there where the deer move through and everything is growing just fine and so on and so forth. The scientific data that the RPC put together is clear. And the clarity of the data is that our woodlands are failing. And they're failing on several different dimensions. And what we need is a comprehensive plan to deal with that. We can talk about buckthorn and garlic mustard, that's only one small element of it. We're missing understory, we're missing plant life, we're missing animal life, and all of this is an ecological system, a comprehensive system that needs to be understood. The RPC has a role in this, the trustees have a role in this, and the individual homeowners have a role in this. And it'd be important, I think, to define what those roles are, and then to understand what actions we can take to be better stewards of the land, because so far we failed. The land is not healthy. The woods are not healthy. The data is very, very clear.
And I found that the data left significant holes and doubt because very little emphasis was placed on the effect of development, and I won't say overdevelopment because we have large lots. Development, the impact of said development on the water table, the impact of said development on drainage, the fragmentation of the woodlands, all of which have to do with what was at one point a thriving woodland ecosystem and now is a woodland which surrounds homes and is chopped to pieces by roads on which we put salt, where we have oil and debris, we have